Hello everybody, thank you for joining me here on Tongva land, where I grew up in El Sereno, just east of here. Union Station has been really special for me as it's been a portal for leaving East LA and exploring the city through bus and bike, as I've never owned a car. My name is Joy Alegria, and I'm going to guide us today in a movement meditation, and I'll share some breath work and some mudras, and all of these movements and practices can be easily done while you're in transit or on the way to a bus station or train station. We're going to begin first in sitting position. So I invite you to get comfortable in a seated position as I am, and you can use either a blanket or bolster or block or rolled up blanket or pillow to lift up your hips. And I like to begin with using either plant medicines like essential oils or plants. You can use aromatic plants or anything that you might have accessible like rosemary, rose, even basil. So what you will do if you have essential oils, you'll drop them into your palm of your hand and rub your palms together, and then bring your palms to your nose and just take a breath. And you can do that as many times as you'd like. And if you're using the plants, you can just bring them to your nose. Take an inhale and exhale. And while you continue with your inhales and exhales, tune in to rooting your sit bones into the earth as you lengthen your spine, lift up your heart, and smile. And we're going to bring our palms out to our sides. So with your next inhale, let's raise our arms up above our head and then exhale down. We'll do that one more time. Inhale and hold, and exhale, bringing your palms down to your heart center. Here, take a moment to breathe and tune into thoughts of gratitude, thanking the earth for holding and supporting you today and every day, and thanking your body. Beautiful, come back down. And then we're gonna begin with some really easy poses for while you're sitting and waiting for the train or bus. You can easily do this. And so we're gonna stretch our neck. You're gonna bring our hand above, straight above, and reach over for your left ear, pressing gently to your right shoulder. And these are really great because we're always often looking down at our phones. So it's really good to remind ourselves to stretch our neck. Breathe here. And then let's do the other side. Bring your left arm up and bring it around to your right ear. With your exhale, you're gonna press gently and really breathe into any part that might feel tense or tight. Send your breath in that direction. And then come back down. Next, we're going to do a torso circle. So you're gonna keep your spine lengthened, and throughout all of this practice, you're gonna engage your abs. So one way to do that is thinking about pulling your belly button in towards your spine. And then with our inhale, we're gonna start to circle around to the front. Exhale to the back. You can do as many of these as you'd like. I'll be doing 4. And then of course we want to always do the other side. So inhale as you move circle around forward. Exhale, coming back. These are really good to do before meditation, as it gets your hips and your back massaged, and it also massages your intestines. One more, inhale, circulating around the front and towards the back. And so I really like to do movement before sitting in stillness for meditation. And so we're gonna move into some standing poses, and then we'll do some meditation and some breath work. Let's begin in a forward fold, so you can come onto your knees or however you'd like to come up. Have your feet hips distance apart and just hang your head down and shake your head yes to your wellness, to your body. You can have your hands on your elbows or you can let them hang down wherever feels good. If you'd like to make some circles. And then with your next inhale, let's roll our spine one vertebrae up at a time. Keeping a slight bend in your knee, roll your shoulders up and back. I'm gonna share a mountain pose, which is a really foundational pose for all of the poses. So keeping your feet hip distance apart, again, you're gonna pull your abs in, lift up your heart, your hands to your sides. You're gonna send energy down through your hands, down through your feet. Maybe even imagine there's roots growing underneath your feet and your heart's lifted and you're gonna smile. Here, you can lean forward and back, to the side, to the left, to find your core strength and your center. So these are really good poses to do while you're waiting and even while you're on the bus or train. Oftentimes I've been on a bus for sudden stops and you have to really engage your core if there's nothing to hold on to not fall. So these are really useful for those moments and also just to really tune into core strength. From here, let's lift our palms up, keeping everything engaged, and then come down. And then we're gonna move into some balancing poses. So keep the slight bend in your knee and tune into your left foot as you press down into your left foot. Lift up your right and then circle your ankle 4 times on each side. And then bring that down and we'll do the other side. So press into your right foot, lift up your left, keep everything engaged and smile. And then rotate the other side and bring that back down. And now I'm gonna show the next pose is a lunge or a crescent pose. So pointing both feet in the same direction. You're gonna come onto the ball of your left foot and bend your right knee. Lift up, keeping everything engaged, or you can keep your hands on your knees, wherever feels good for you. And as always, all of these poses can be modified. Do what feels good for your body. And then go ahead and come back to center and turn to the other side. So reach, press into the ball of your foot, bend your left knee, engage your abs, reach up, or keep your hands on your knee, wherever feels good for you. Good, and come back to center. You can heel toe your feet together, back to standing. And just as a reminder, as always, listen to your body, do what feels good. If you feel any pain, then do something different that feels comfortable. So I want to share with you a walking meditation, and just to remind you that meditation can happen anywhere, anytime, while you're walking to the train or bus station, while you're waiting, especially while you're waiting and maybe you're running late. This can help bring calmness to you in the moment. And now we're going to go into a walking meditation where I'll invite you to take a moment to notice your feet on the ground, notice the earth and your feet pressing onto the ground, and maybe even imagining what part of the earth you're on, and take notice of the environment around you. Notice the grass, notice the trees, the wind, and the shapes of the leaves. The trees dancing in the wind. And notice without any judgment, just observe and see. And even if you'd like, you can feel the texture of the trees. And as always, tune into your breath and lift your heart. Smile. Tune into your breath. And just be in the present. Coming back to our mat or the ground, we're going to come back into a seated position. Make sure you have your rolled up blanket or bolster or pillow with you. And I'm going to share a meditation that you could do while you're waiting in transit or anywhere or even at home. So we'll begin with some breath work, and I'll introduce a mudra. So again, tuning into your spine, making sure your spine is lengthened, your abs are engaged, your shoulders are relaxed, and you're smiling. And if it helps to close your eyes, I invite you to close your eyes, and let's bring our hands one to our heart and one to our abdomen. So I'm going to share with you a 4-4-7 breath, which is a really useful breath for calming the nervous system. So you're going to inhale for 4, hold for 4, and exhale for 7. The long extended exhale really helps to bring calmness to your nervous system. So even if don't worry too much about the count, as long as your exhale is longer than your inhale. And while you're here, you can also, I want to share with you a mudra. You've probably seen this mudra before. It's called the Gyan mudra. You're going to bring your thumbs to touch your index finger and your 3 fingers together. You may have done this naturally. You're going to bring your mudra onto your knees, and this mudra helps to maintain balance, to bring calmness to your mind, and to deepen your meditation and bring ease while you're in meditation. So just take a moment, close your eyes, continue with your breath, your 4-4-7 breath, or whatever feels good for you. Close your eyes. And take a moment to just notice the sounds around you. This is a practice of being present, a practice of stillness and awareness. And so noticing your breath, noticing the sounds around you, the water fountain, noticing the wind in the trees and the leaves dancing, and just noticing the colors and really just being present with everything that is around you and even inside of you. Tuning inward, listening to your breath, and just notice the quality of your breath. Does it feel expansive? And just notice, most importantly, observe without any judgment. And while you're here, let's go ahead and lengthen your spine again and relax your shoulders. And just take a moment to listen and be still.
My name is Chard Gonzales. I teach Cunningham technique at Pieter Performance Space. Cunningham technique is about building the dexterity throughout the body with the limbs and the spine moving together or independently. Joining me in this workshop today are Tamsin Carlson, Julie O'Peel, and Heather Siebold. We'll be performing 3 separate exercises. The first is called the exercise on 6, where we'll be focusing on the movement of the spine. The second exercise is a leg brush, where we're focusing on the direction of the legs. The third exercise is when we put the 2 together, combining the leg movement as well as the spine. In the last part, I've given the dancers agency to do their own material based on what we did in the first 3 exercises, including a traveling passage called a triplet. Often when Cunningham would rehearse some of the work, he would use a stopwatch in order to measure the time for the dancers. If the dancers needed to dance for exactly 22 minutes and 13 seconds, we wouldn't measure that by the music. Instead, we would use a stopwatch. First we're going to start with the exercise on 6 with our arms wide, our feet right underneath us, pointing front, and we're going to bend our knees, plie, and twist to the right side, keeping the shoulders down. Then we'll go up and over on the diagonal, curving just the upper back. Do not move the hips. Then we bring that to the front, keeping those shoulders down, flat back. You have to change the pelvis to make a flat back. Then we're going to stretch through the legs, and then come up with that flat back, and then do the same thing to the left side. So twist and bend the knees, up and over, twist back to the front, keep your pelvis even, then tilt the pelvis forward to make a flat back, lengthen out of the top of the head as you stretch your knees, and then come up on count 6, that's 6 counts. And then the second part, twist and plie, curve over. We're gonna lift up to the back, again, make a flat back here, feels so good in the sun, and then curve up and over. We're gonna stretch the legs to make an arch, and then come up on count 6. So we twist on 1, curve on 2, flat back on 3, curve up and over on 4, press through the legs on 5, and come up on 6. So we're just gonna do those 2 sets for today. Okay, ready? Here we go. 5 and 6, go. 1 and 2, 3, 5 and 6, twisting 1, over 2, to the front, flat back, stretch the knees, and up you go. And part 2, and up and over the space, and flat back, and curve, and arch, and up you go, and left, and curve, to the flat back, and curve, and arch, and up. Sometimes I do this with the hands on the shoulders, so when you twist, you can think of keeping the shoulders down as you go, and you're moving just the spine without the shoulders coming up and down. I often see dancers lifting their shoulders up and around rather than just keeping them in place. Beautiful, Julie. So the next exercise is about the legs. We're going to brush the leg on the diagonal, and then brush the leg directly to the front, diagonal side, directly to the side, diagonal to the back, directly to the back, and then one more diagonal. So you're basically making a circle with your feet. So you're going to the diagonal, front, diagonal, directly side, diagonal back, directly back behind you, diagonal, and let's add a plie, just a bend of the knees, just to finish on count 8. And then we'll do it with the left, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, plie on the 8. And then we'll go from the back diagonal, directly back, back diagonal again, directly side, diagonal, directly front, diagonal, and bend your knees, and the opposite with the left. Yeah, you want to keep your spine upright the whole time, so we're not mixing up the spine, doing something maybe interesting here. We want to keep this nice and straight. And so this is an exercise just for your legs, yeah? Also, when you come back to your, what we call first position, getting your legs together, you want the feet planted evenly instead of putting your weight on one foot or the other. So evenly distribute your weight onto 2 feet. Ready? So this is 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. We go and brush and brush and brush and brush, back, directly back, back, and plie, and a 1 and 2, and keep breathing the whole time. Back, back, diagonal, bend your knees, and a back. Keep lifting up. Make sure you're evening out your weight in between 2 feet. And a 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Beautiful. So this exercise is for the legs and the back. We're going to start with a lunge, curving, and then we're going to tilt away from that leg that's straight. We'll go to a lunge forward with the back flat. We're gonna twist towards that back leg, then push up to your balance. You can do it, Chard, and come back down. There we go. And curve, and tilt, and flat back, then your twist, and then your balance, and come down. Then we reverse that. We'll go to the back, curving. This time you'll tilt towards the leg that's straight. Take your arch, twist towards the leg that's in front, and push up to your balance and lower. Make sure both legs are even on both feet, exactly. I do that thing where you lift your feet up just to double check that you're on both feet. Last time on the left, curve and tilt and arch and twist towards that front leg and pull up to your balance and close. Beautiful. All right, here we go. One more time, ready? 7, 8, and a curve, and tilt, and flat, and twist, and up, and down, and curve, and tilt, and flat back, and twist, and push up, and down. A curve, tilt, arch, twist, and up, down. Curve, tilt, arch, twist, and up, down. Okay. Well, I'm not exactly an expert historian in Merce Cunningham, but I believe there's definitely an interest in human transit. For example, some of the works that he's created, such as Scenario or even Beach Birds, reminds me of how animals are moving from place to place en masse.
Today we're going to introduce you the style called house. It is a street dance and social dance that has a root in the underground house music scene of Chicago and New York. The steps we're going to introduce you, it's going to help you to understand the basic steps of house and also the basics of the music. The first step we're going to do, it is called jacking. We're going to break it down how to do it. You're going to bend your knee, and then your hip moves forward, your torso moves forward, and then you're gonna push your neck forward. It goes like this. Okay, so now we're gonna demonstrate to you with music. So that was a slow version of the jacking. Now we're gonna go with the actual tempo of the house music. So let's do it with music, faster tempo. So second step we are going to do is called skate. First, I'm gonna break it down to you how to do it. So you're gonna stand on your left leg, and then you're gonna slide or glide your right leg towards to the back. Then now you're gonna move your body, upper body, and then bring your left in. Going back to the other side, your weight is on the right leg, slide, move your upper body, bring it in. It's a little faster. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4. Your arm going out and in, out and in. Okay? Okay. Now let's try with music slowly. Okay, now let's try faster with regular tempo. The third step is called train. Train goes like this. It is like a choo-choo train. Okay, so now I'm gonna break it down for you. Now you're gonna sit on your left hip, and then you're gonna tap your right toe, 1, 2, forward, 1, 2. And then you're gonna switch your weight to the other side, right hip, and then you're gonna tap your left toe, 1, 2, forward. You repeat that, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2. It's kind of similar to skate. You a little bit, as you're tapping forward, you're sliding forward too. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Then you're adding your train part, which is juga, juga, ju, ju. Yeah. So your arm goes forward. It's opposition. Left leg, right arm. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. So now we're gonna try slowly with music. Okay, so now let's do it with faster tempo. The last step we are going to do is called shuffle. It goes like this. Now I'm gonna break it down for you. You're gonna put your weight on your left leg, and then you're gonna jump and kick at the same time towards to your right, like this. Then you switch to your right, and then you're gonna kick your left, and then you're gonna tap on the back, your left leg, okay? Now you're gonna go to your left, you're gonna kick and hop at the same time, and then you switch, and then tap. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now let's try with music slowly. All right, so now let's try faster with music. Okay, so we did 4 steps. First step was jacking, and then second step was skate, and the third step was train. The fourth one was shuffle. Now I'm gonna break it down for you how the choreography is going to be like. It's going to start like this. You're gonna step your right foot, left foot forward, then cross. Then you're gonna go into the shuffle to the right, left, right, 3 times. 1, 2, 3. The next step is going to be your left leg is going forward, and then you're gonna do jacking going down, forward, back, and sit. When you do that, you want to bring your arm up as if you're putting your clothes on you, yeah? Then you're gonna skate to your left, and right, and left. The next step is gonna be the train. You're gonna be right, left, then skate to your right, then left, right, then skate to your left. The last step is gonna be the jack. You're gonna jump out forward, jack, and then keep partying, party, groove, and yay. Okay, so now let's try with the count. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we're gonna put all these 4 steps together as a choreography, and we're gonna dance with music.
Chasing your dreams in the land of the lost. Palm trees. Raw women and their gangster men walking down Normandy and Sunset Boulevard. Tattoos and Dodger blues. City lights and freeways. Roll call before we hit up a spot. Daylight and nightlife. Los Angeles, my city. You never break my heart. You only hold me down and make me stronger. Los Angeles, my city.
Thank you for participating and dancing with us today. Dance and music brings people together, just like Metro does. Keep on dancing Dance happens everywhere.